Hello, my miracles, and welcome to another episode of Coffee and Crime. Episode 52, Where is Brian? So grab your coffee and let's talk some crime. Brian Randall Shaffer was born on February 11th, 1979, and disappeared on April 1st, 2006. Brian was a medical student at Ohio State University College of Medicine. He began his studies in 2004. During his time at college, he began to date another medical student, Alexa Wagner, and it was said that he would be proposing to her in late 2006. Brian loved tropical locations and the relaxed lifestyle. He had told his friends, despite his decision to pursue a medical career, his real ambition was to start a band and play music. On Friday, March 31st, 2006, Brian ended his classes and was looking forward to his spring break. He celebrated this occasion with his father by having a steak dinner. Earlier that evening, Brian's father stated he seemed exhausted from having studied through the night earlier in the week, cramming for some critical upcoming exams. He felt Brian should not go out with his friend William Clint Florence later that night, but did not express this to his son. At 9 p.m., Brian met William at the Ugly Tuna Saloon, a bar in the South Campus Gateway complex on High Street in Columbus. Brian called his girlfriend, then went bar hopping with William, and according to William, they visited several bars, working their way down to the Arena District. At each stop, Brian and William would have one shot each of hard liquor. After midnight, the two friends met up with one of William's friends, Meredith Reed, and she then drove them back to the Ugly Tuna Saloon. Just before 2 a.m., Brian was last seen on the security cameras. Waiting outside after the bar had closed at 2 p.m., they scanned the departing crowd and could not find Brian. They assumed he went home without telling them. On the following morning, when Brian missed his flight to Miami, he was reported missing. Police began their search at the bar he was last seen at. The security camera outside the entrance to the second-floor bar recorded him, William, and Meredith going up the escalator at 1:15 a.m. Then Brian was seen at around 1:55 a.m., briefly talking to two women, and then he walked off screen. Brian has not been seen since. Police searched Brian's apartment and car and found nothing out of the ordinary. Brian's disappearance has been puzzling since there was no other publicly accessible entrance or exit to the bar at that time. It may be important to note that there was a service exit near where he was last seen. Several theories have been brought up. One theory was that Brian's friend William had somehow harmed him, and unfortunately, William refused to take a polygraph test to eliminate him. Another theory is possible involvement of the Smiley Face Killer, a killer who has been thought to have killed 45 young men across several Midwestern states from the late 1990s to 2010s. And the last theory is that Brian may have just taken off, left his old life behind, and started a new life with a new identity. Randy Shaffer, Brian's father, had never given up on trying to find his son. On September 2008, during a heavy windstorm, Randy was clearing debris in the yard of his Baltimore, Ohio home when a branch blew off a nearby tree and fatally struck him. Neighbors found his body the following day and called police. Brian Randall Shaffer was 27 years old at the time of his disappearance. He is 6'2" and between 160 to 165 pounds. He has brown hair and hazel eyes. Brian has a Pearl Jam tattoo on his upper right arm and a dot on his left eye iris. If you have any information, please contact the Central Ohio Crime Stoppers at 1-877-645-8477. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, click that like button. And if you're not a miracle and want to be, click that subscribe button and watch a miracle happen. I'm Miracle Girl for Coffee and Crime. I'll see you next time.